Well, good morning, everyone. So, I'm putting out this video because I hear about things and I want to, make sure everything's correct. And I don't know how many of my listeners have learned, but there's a bank called Silicon Valley Bank that closed this door and was taken over by the FDIC. And they're trying to find a buyer to buy the bank, both debt and assets. But in the meantime, whoever has money in that bank is having a very difficult time getting it out. Now, there's been some other times that banks close, and it's not, not really a big thing. This particular one has piqued my interest because of the size and the amount of liquidity that has been seized or held, I should say. So here's everything I know so far, and I'm trying to, I spent a lot of time researching this last night to make sure that what I say is correct. But they are in the attempt to resolve the problem. I don't think it's across the board everybody's going to have issues with the banks because that one particular bank had a very unique business model. It is a California bank, and maybe it was just advertising or their image they wanted to uphold, but they had a lot of woke endeavors, a lot of money in cryptocurrency, a lot of money in abstract things, not hard currency. So I'm not saying that's the reason that they failed. I'm just saying that's it's relative to the story. So I'm always trying to be prepared for the worst, and just trying to be ahead of whatever may come rolling down the road. But as far as right now, I would definitely keep an eye on banks. On Friday, I think total the banking industry lost like $50 billion is one of the reports I heard, plus or minus a few billion. But who's counting at that point? There is some weakness in the banks, but it's manageable, I'm assuming. From what I can tell, it doesn't seem like we're going to have a 1929 issue, or they're saying it's the worst one since 2008, which is a pretty big hit to the banking industry. But as far as right now, it's piqued the interest of a lot of people, as far as what exactly is happening. Why did this one particular bank, and did it fail? And by the looks of it, it does seem like it just the people who were in charge of the bank were more concerned about their image and their Instagram and their social media image versus trying to keep money at in the bank and cover their debts. So, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on it. It's not something to worry about. It's not something to go out and clean out your bank account. I did pull a little bit of money out just because I could use some extra money, but I'm not saying make a run on the banks, because that could definitely exacerbate it can make the problem worse. So, but it's definitely something to keep your eyes open on. If there starts to be a chain reaction of this, just got to be prepared. And this is where, again, going back of getting out of debt, having food, having equalizers, having, be prepared so you can be happy. That's something that I've been kind of saying on this channel a lot. Trying to think, is there anything else or something that I might be missing, but I think that covers it. So, and I tried editing the video that came out yesterday, and I misconnected the back part, so I edited out a certain section of a conversation, and I tried hooking back the peace, love, and money part at the end, and it didn't hook up, so it abruptly ended without my little outro saying. So, oh well, I tried, and I'm gonna keep trying to learn more. So now whenever I mess up, I try to edit out and do a jump cut, and then as time goes, I'm gonna try to get fancy with it. So So, and I'm getting, I'm buying myself a little tiny present. It's about $40. But whenever I go out and go shopping and go to auctions and do these little things, which I'm not really trying to do, but they have this little pendant camera. It's about like that big. Yeah, it's like tiny. It's only like $30, but I was thinking about getting one of them so I could just kind of hook it on there. So as I'm walking around, you know, I could record things, or like if I go to garage sales or if I go to an auction, y'all can kind of see what I'm doing, and it's hands-free. So whenever I start processing stuff and doing different things, I can have, you know, kind of like a, I don't know that point of view. It's a video game term, but it's anyways where you have that like first-person view. So. But that's something I'm thinking about buying. I'm looking at a couple of them. Most of them only record for about 6 hours. So I'm trying to see if I can find one that's a little bit beefier. Maybe get, you know, 8 or 10 hours, but we'll see. And of course, you know, all of them are 1080p. I was going to see if they had a 4K one. Won't be recording in 4K, but the better the camera, the better the image. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys as far as some things I heard. If you haven't heard about it, you know, the Silicon Valley Bank. You know, and a lot of the people there are having difficulties getting their money. It is FDIC insured for $250,000, but because of the nature of that particular bank, most of the investments in there, and I don't know the exact percentage there. I did see some reports, but I don't remember it. But we're well over $250,000. So, you know, if it doesn't get corrected, which I'll know Monday, Tuesday, or at least the world will know, you know, but they're trying to get somebody that can take over the operations and basically get another bank to buy them out so they can get all the assets and protect the money that's there. But it did kind of get me thinking last night, and there's something called the Great Reset, and there's I forget his name, but it's some old white guy that was talking about it. But where they can, you know, reset society by using the type of currency. So, and this, you know, and here lately a lot of weird things have been happening. So I doubt it's going to happen, but I'm not going to say it's not going to happen either, because it's a lot of craziness out here of what people are doing and things that are happening right now. I mean, this week has been a very eye-opening experience for people who are invested into following world news and what's happening. You know, and I may make another video later on, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's happening that I've been watching for a number of years, and it's like, you know, here's a story, here's a story, here's a story, here's a story, and now they're all starting to get really close to one another. And you know, and just as a one little brief thing, and y'all can look it up on your own, but there's some reports that Iran's supposed to be getting nuclear weapons within about a week, you know, and China just went over to Saudi Arabia, and they were all buddy-buddy, and, you know, if you remember, Saudi Arabia is not too happy with our president. So then here comes this report that after China and Iran, you know, they have a working relationship, and China goes over to Saudi Arabia, and you know, they're over there and having their little conversation. Next thing you know, two countries that hate each other, Iran and Saudi Arabia, they're like, let's be friends. And that's not good for us. That's really, really not good for us. So, you know, and I'm not saying anything's going to necessarily become of it. I'm just sitting back observing the world, and again, I don't forget things. So when I see something, I'll remember it for years, you know, and well, I do forget certain things, but as a whole, I remember generalized stories. And it kind of makes me think where we're heading, you know. Anyways, I just pulled up at the shop. I'm gonna get a couple things done here, and then I'm gonna go back, and I'm working on the studio and building doors and getting ready for a door install tomorrow. So I got a busy day ahead of me, and trying to help out my mom and get her stuff finalized. I got one more load at her storage unit, but I gotta go. Oh shit! I gotta go buy a dolly because carry that piano, because it blew out the tires on my dolly. So I'm going to have to get a heavier duty dolly. Anyways, I just wanted to put this out in the world. It is something to kind of keep an eye on. It is something to look at all the banks that are teetering in the red, and and then just try to be as prepared as you can be. On that note, peace, love, money. I'm out.